Okay. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I want to start by just talking about some of the guys uh, that we held or for whatever reason. So I want to talk to you about why we did. Okay. Davion Warren, we held him out. He tweaked his hamstring Friday in practice, so he did not go today. Traylon Smith, um, he's got a little turf toe. We've been holding him out. He did not go today. Ricky Stromberg had a little bit of a sprained MCL, and he's been practicing on and off. But because he really got cleared to come back on Thursday um, in limited contact, we did not play him today. And Jalen Catalon, last scrimmage, had a shoulder that was beat up a little bit, and we have been doing some medical work on him, and that medical work did not allow him to practice today. All four of those guys will be ready. Most of them will be ready to participate in practice on Monday. The other section is different, and I won't comment on any of their injuries, but I will tell you that each guy that I'm getting ready to talk about, I believe will be ready for Rice. Okay. But they certainly, if we played Rice today, they would not have played. Okay. So that's Traylon Burks, TJ Hammonds, AJ Green, and Sam Lloyd. They did not play today, but I expect all of them to be ready for the Rice game. All right. With that, I'm ready to roll.
Special teams.
I thought it was very physical scrimmage. Last week, Trey, I believe that our defense lasted, if that is how you call it, they outlasted the offense, I believe, last week. And I don't believe that this week. I think the offense in the second half, I think the offense came back and did some really nice things. It was a pretty even scrimmage. Maybe the defense had gotten the better of the offense a little bit early in the first half, and I believe the offense responded, which I didn't feel like they did last week. Special teams, I thought we were good. We have to get better kicking field goals. We weren't quite as good today with our field goal game as what we have been in the past.
And what about KJ's performance and any?
I like KJ. It's so hard. When the whistle's so fast on him, but I believe, he didn't take a lot of sacks. He ran the offense well. I felt like he was accurate today. So I think he's starting to feel like, he's the man back there, and our offense is and our team is rallying around him. But I thought he had a good day throwing and running the offense. Thought he was accurate.
That Burks and Warren weren't there.
Uh-huh.
So that gave some other receivers that we not see as much.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about who you saw today doing stuff?
Well, obviously, Jaqueline Crawford came in and played the slot today. Part of it, JD White played in the slot as well, got a long touchdown pass as well. And then two came in and played the right receiver for Davion. And we had Malik had a good day of running the football. He also, I think he was the one who threw it to JD for the touchdown as well. So we had some bigger plays today. Some of that is how we elected to play the players, and some of it is because our offensive guys made plays.
Coach, you mentioned Jaqueline Crawford a second ago. What kind of a camp is he having? We see him in the fastball starts during the week. He's typically with the first or second group. What have you liked about his camp?
He's been really good at times and been below really good at times. In other words, I'd like to see him get more consistent, but I think as the camp went on, that his consistencies come around better. We've got some guys, Harper Cole's had a really good offseason, fall camp. We're trying to get him a few more reps in that slot position as well. But I've been impressed with Jaqueline.
Sandy, the assistant coaches on defense and the players have spoken pretty highly of Miles Slusher, his versatility. Maybe he can do more stuff for you this year. What have you thought of his camp?
Yeah, I saw him. He came out like gangbusters about the first 6 or 7 practices. He got a little nicked up, and he'll continue to learn how to work through some small injuries and things of that nature. But when he first came out in fall camp, he was rolling, and now he's kind of getting back. I thought he had a really good scrimmage today, and he's very valuable to us.
This is one from Nate remotely, if it's okay.
Hi, Nate.
He was wondering, I think he's watching. Yes, let's say hi. Going into the third week of camp, you're still 2 weeks out from a game, but you've been practicing hard camp for 2 weeks. Kind of how important is this week to keep pushing through?
How important was this week or the next week? Oh, we will go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against ourselves, try and get our team better. On Thursday, we will start our rice prep. And so the next 3 days with school starting as well, with some other distractions that we haven't had because, no school, Monday's going to be the telltale of how good our football team, how mature our football team, in my opinion, is. And I expect it to be one of the best practices we have all year. I expect that because we've got a mature team. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will still be in camp type grind per se, even though we're practicing, in the afternoon after school. And then, of course, Thursday, then that's when the real excitement for the kids becomes because you're starting for rice.
From last week, you said there was some stuff. What'd you see from it and versus, what'd you see from the pass rush?
Well, the pass rush was still very good. The pass protection was much better. There was still, some things that the defense is doing to us where we need to get the ball out of our hands. And I thought we got better in the second half of that scrimmage than we were in the first half. If I had any disappointment, I thought we did a pretty good job of turnovers today. We had a couple of tip balls that ended up in interceptions, and then we had an exchange. I believe it was with the 3s. It might have been with the 2s, but I think it was with the 3s. We had an exchange problem, put the ball on the ground. Anytime that you practice 1s, 2s, and 3s, and you have 120 play series, you got to kind of break it down in your mind of what really did happen, what didn't, because you've got so many kids playing. That some of them are just getting ready to play in a game and they're not quite there yet. So it'd be very hard to go, well, we had this guy. We always play 1 versus 1s and 2 versus 2s, and we start 1 versus 2s and all that. You guys have been to the scrimmages in the spring, so you know how we work. I believe the only way you can really get consistently better is play good on good. I know you have to be worried about other things, but I don't know if I answered your question or not.
Penalty, so they were better this week?
Much better. Our jumping off sides on defense and our illegal procedures on offense were much better. That was kind of one of the goals that we gave to the team going into the scrimmage. I'm not telling you that we didn't have them. I'm telling you that we certainly cut that situation down.
You mentioned the real stuff. So that's the 1 versus 1s. What did you see when KJ and the 1s were up against the 1s?
Well, you look at it and I felt like our defense was ready to go. I'm not saying our offense down. I can't remember exactly, but I think, they may have three and out of the offense the very first time they went out there. And I think the offense may have gotten a first down and then stalled in the second one. And then in situation football, the offense played well. When you're talking about red area, low red, get the ball back, those situations, I felt like the offense played well.
Coach, statistically, how did KJ perform? Did he have touchdown passes? You mentioned a couple of tip balls that were intercepted.
I don't know. Did he? Did KJ throw a touchdown pass today? I don't know, Trey. I know Malik had a long run for a touchdown, threw a long pass for a touchdown. But I don't feel like KJ had a bad scrimmage. I'm trying to run the scrimmage, and I at times I'm not for sure exactly who did what out there as far as who it is, because I'm watching both sides of the ball, but I do feel like, just without looking at the tape, that KJ did a nice job of distributing the ball, staying away from sacks, his reads. I felt like another thing that we need to improve on was our quarterback reads. I asked, KB and them, they tally every day a percentile of reads. To me, I mean, it's not like, you're reading the dictionary, you're reading a 260-pound guy over there. And to me, he's up the field, I hand the ball off. He's not, I run it or I throw it. But I didn't think our reads were up to what our standard is. And I think we did a lot better job in that today, and KJ's included in that.
You got a couple weeks before kickoff. How do you feel
It's
about it?
exciting.
Yeah. How do you feel about the team right now? I mean,
Love 'em.
you got a good team, or, I mean,
I
you
don't
talk about
know.
making the state proud. Is that happening this year?
We got to get out there and play first. But I like where our team is, yes. I don't know how we're going to do, but I like the team. I like the way they work. I like where we're at.
Defensively,
Well, our defensive line, they've been very good throughout the camp. They certainly had their share of pressures. And, again, how many sacks they had, I don't know. Some of them we call that weren't, and some of them we call that might have been, because the quarterback's not live. Are they letting up, or, you know what I mean? I thought they did good. I thought our linebackers played well. Seemed to me like our coverage was pretty good, especially with the older guys, so, our scheme, we're able to do more, and you're only able to do more when you have the people that can do it. And we have the folks that can do it, and we got a defensive coordinator, defensive staff, very, 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 very knowledgeable. And so we can give you a lot of looks, and we can execute the looks, and that's made us better.
Same, I kind of a two-parter. How did the running backs do today? I guess you obviously held out Smith and Green. How the running backs do, and how close are you guys to figuring out who that number 2 guy is?
Five's number 2. Five's number 2, and he ran well, ran hard, had a good day, really good day. With Rocket last week, I'm not for sure that he had, I don't know, but I can't remember if he had more than a 7-yard run last week's scrimmage. But he improved so much from in practice, I believe, because of, hey, I know I'm in the SEC. I got hit by SEC players, and I'm okay. And I think he gained a lot of confidence last week. That's why I was hoping that AJ Green would be in this scrimmage today. I felt like he would take that leap as well, but obviously we weren't able to get him in there. But two is Rocket. I think that, and then I think your 3 back's going to be between Dominique and Oglesby, with Green having that opportunity when he's able to practice.
You got, cross-training linemen, that's been going on for a long time. But I got to believe last year you guys really took it to another level with the COVID concerns with linemen and secondary and that kind of thing. Talking to the assistant, sounds like there's a lot of cross-training going on again. Have you guys basically cross-trained like you did last year? And how important is that to have guys that can play all, the various positions?
Well, with the 2-spot thing that we were doing, for the first 6 or 7 days or whatever that is, that allows us during that time to cross-train people. And we believe I've done it all the time when I was an offensive line coach, But I also tell the guys that if I'm the second team left tackle, let's say, the worst thing, you get in a game and the left tackle, for whatever reason, he's tired or he gets hurt or whatever it is, and coach moves somebody ahead of you and you've been playing second team on the depth chart. I don't believe in that. I believe that if a guy, whomever your 6th guy is, he needs to be ready to play. And you need to have an opportunity. You need to have seen that. And so, Bob, what we do is we do a ones, twos, and threes, and then combo. And combo is a combination of maybe your worst nightmare. And in other words, hey, we can't afford to lose this guy. Well, in the combo period, you just did. We got to find out who that guy is. The next day, it might be, we can't afford to lose Ricky Stromberg. Well, you just did. Who's Ty Clary, the next center we have? You've got to find those things out. And so, yes, we're doing a lot of that as well, both on the offensive line and D line, trying to see who's got that athletic ability to be between the defensive end, three technique, who can do that. Obviously, the first name that comes to my mind is Utsi and Gregory. They both can play defensive end and inside as well. So we need to know that because we need to have our best players on the field. And if our second team nose guard is our sixth best player, well, number 4 better be somewhere. He either needs to be the nose guard or we can move this guy in the nose and him on the field. And that's how I feel about it.
On the offensive line, I think Coach Kennedy told us the other day that the battle at left guard would go down to the wire.
Yeah.
How is that going? And it looks like Brady's taken most of the first team snaps that we've seen. Is he starting to emerge?
I would say he's going out with the ones. I would say that there's still a major battle between him and Jones in that there. I mean, major. But obviously Jones was starting and now he is. So obviously us as a coaching staff think that Latham's playing a little bit better than him, but there's still a major battle there. And then we'll have to see what happens at today's scrimmage too, to kind of really get another full live, let's go sick 'em, type deal and figure it out.
When Jalen Catalon was in here with us the last time, we asked him about the targeting penalties and does he have to do anything differently? And he says he just got to be him, but he's hitting people hard. Obviously, he hurt his shoulder. Do you have to dial him back any? How do you deal with a guy who's so aggressive like Jalen is?
You just explain the rule. I think everybody thought it was helmet to helmet. It's not. It's anything to helmet. And I think a lot of our guys, don't understand that if it's not. I mean, it can be shoulder to helmet. I mean, if you hit a guy in the head, that's targeting, and so we just have to continue. He did a lot better after he got his first one last year, and then had an unfortunate one, and I forget the game, maybe LSU, and that was unfortunate. Remember when we had Dan Skipper here, and then every time he did anything, we just got to watch out for that with Jalen.
What impresses you most about Rocket, and maybe what's your favorite part about coaching him, or what's it been like coaching him so far?
You go over to academics, and that's the first guy they mention. Always on time, asking questions. This, that, no. He is who he is. The way he runs his life, he's so accountable. But on the field, what I like about him, he's hitting the hole faster. He got speed a lot of times, but he's also 228 pounds. So, I mean, a guy that has speed, if they nickname me Rocket, I'd try to run the ball outside. And you guys all know I ain't got no speed. And so that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to cut the ball outside. He's 228 pounds, man. And that's what he's doing a little bit more now. And that's what he did today. And make people tackle you. If you're fast and you're that size, makes people tackle you. And then every now and then you run by him, but that's what he's doing better than what he did earlier in the scrimmage and in camp.
Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
You mentioned Keytron by number. Is he? How much can he contribute to you?
Well, in practice, he's at least 3. Best receiver we have, maybe higher. He's a good football player, and we just got to get him a little bit more confidence, when he's out there in live situations. But the guy's going to be a really, really good. I don't want to put pressure on him, but I can't because he puts it on himself. He's another Rocket Sanders. He's that kind of kid. But he is pressing for starting and pressing hard. I think at this point in time, he's one of our top 3 receivers, and I believe that. And, you know, when you all played, when you was a freshman, if you thought you was better than the guy ahead of you and you were, you wanted to play, and certainly if he is. Not all of you, Bob. You probably was.
Bad basketball thing is if you had a pulse, you could be on the team.
Look, he's a good player. He's gonna play for us.
You mentioned Malik, sounded like he had a pretty good scrimmage, and Kendall
He did.
said he's, how good do you feel about him as a number 2 guy? And obviously you don't want anything to happen to KJ, but just how good do you feel about Malik and his camp, and if he needed to play?
Well, he can run now, and he can roll out and throw the football, and he's getting better in the pocket, but he has to get better. But when he's running out, he's getting better at throwing the football, and he's a major threat with his feet. He's number 2. There's not anybody, in my opinion, right now that's that close to him as a 2 quarterback. And I think whenever we get into live games and he's able to use his feet and somebody's not, tagging him and the plays down, I think he'll be a really good quarterback for us. I don't know that we'll run the exact same offense with him in the game, because we want to use his attributes. Thanks, fellas.